So a good day will only take me maybe 15 minutes or so, but then he still has to lay here for a while. We learned that if he'll lay here for 30 minutes to an hour, that he just gets good skin to glue. It gets stuck down really well, so we don't have any movement or any lifting or leakage. So I will try to go through each step and show you what it's like in this, what's it been, 12 weeks?
11.
11 weeks. He has never changed his bag completely by himself, mostly because I'm here, but also positionally, and he has a retracted stoma. I think it would be extremely difficult for him to have to do by himself. And I'm not saying he can't, he just has not ever had to.
I'm saying I can't, so it's a good thing.
Maybe he can't, I don't know. Okay, so first step is we're taking the old bag off. Typically we empty it before, but today I was just like, no sense in really getting up again, although I can feel there's a lot of output here up high. So it's got like a little locking mechanism. So we're going to pull that off. Why don't you pan away for just a minute so I can make sure it's actually not bad. We usually do gag because it smells awful. And today is one of those days. All right, you can come back down. It's not, it's actually not terrible, but this is what it looks like. And so try to put this around here. Try to keep that covered up. So this little sucker is stuck on here.
And you'll notice the whole area is shaved, and that's highly recommended if you have stomach and chest hair or body hair, because it does hurt.
So there are these, let me grab one. There are these little deals, universal remover wipe, and that works really well. I'll just kind of demonstrate, although I'm not really going to use this for the whole thing. So it's just a little wipe, it's got remover on it. So you can go around the edge and it literally just lifts it up. This works well. Better alternative we have found is adhesive remover spray. We've used a couple of different brands. I don't think one's necessarily any better than the other. This is Coloplast, which also happens to be the supplies, the wafers and the bags that he found we liked the best. So when I just ordered the same brand.
It's about $3 a can, so it's not expensive.
Yeah, not expensive. Insurance does not cover this one though. But if you just spray right under the edge, literally just lifts it right up. It's kind of a miracle thing.
Yeah, and even when you shave, the hair is growing back, so this helps keep it from hurting.
All right, so I'm going to take it off now, and he's going to pan away again. I'll clean up around the edges and then kind of go back to it. All right.
So I've had a lot of activity over the last week and a half, and so I've been very sore, very irritated, but as of right now, the stoma is up, which is a good sign. How does it look?
It looks better than it did the last day that I cleaned it, or that we changed it. Still very irritated at the base, or the bottom part, I guess you could say.
And by irritated, what we mean is that it's literally like I have a diaper rash.
He is kind of super hairy right now, but his surgery is in 2 days, and so I don't want to cause any extra irritation to the skin. So I'm not going to shave him today. Sorry, love. He's got... so what I'm doing is there's the adhesive, however you want to say it, from the ring. Kind of gets trapped in the hair around the edge. So I could just put another one back on. It's not really a big deal for whatever reason. It's just like a personal thing to me. It bothers me to leave old on before I'm putting on the new. So I get in there and kind of peel it off, which it's basically stuck in his hair. So if you saw
it's stuck in irritated skin, so it's really sore.
So all of this down here at the bottom is irritated but healing. He's all healed at the top, which is good because when I changed it, was that Saturday morning?
Yeah.
He was irritated all the way around. This spot right here on the edge that I'm pointing at, he's had the entire time. It's never gone away. It's maybe gotten 30% better, but it always ends up re-irritated. So we think it's just like an ulceration that was just not going to heal. And that's just probably most of this irritation. I'm going to just assume that when she goes in to put him back together, she's going to debride that, which cut it away, make it go away before she does the skin closure there, because it is just, it's trying to heal, but it's just really damaged skin. So this is Jeremiah. I'll unveil it for the world because we haven't shown anybody, I don't think. I think maybe one or two people have seen us change. You do a complete change, but not everybody has seen it. Blessedly for all of you watching, we have literally no activity right now. But you can see it moving, which is a little creepy, but that's intestines, so that's what they're supposed to do.
Stop being amazed at it and let's get moving since there's no activity.
I like to be amazed. But we have found that lavender oil tends to help. We like doTERRA, it's our brand.
This episode is not sponsored by doTERRA.
Exactly. So I put a few drops on, put it around the irritated edge, and I let that sit for a few minutes while I cut the hole in the wafer. So this is the wafer. This is the part that's actually stuck to his body that holds the bag, but as you can see, the hole that it comes with is very tiny. So I don't know, maybe some people have stomas that tiny. He does not.
Got to be cut to fit that.
So my last cut, this is my template from my last one because you peel the front part off. So I saved this to kind of measure and gauge if it's good. In my opinion, it's actually a little large. So it's good on the oblong piece, but it's a little too wide. I guess the circumference is a little too high on the top and the bottom. And we cut his offset, so I don't cut...
Because of the space between belly button and stoma.
Right.
Stoma should ideally be over about another 1/4 inch, and I wouldn't have to worry about the bend or the drop into the belly button, but you know, it is what it is. You can't go back in and move it later, so we just deal with it by, like she said, offsetting the cut.
So I'm gonna kind of sort of guess at this one a little bit. I need that. So you go in and you can, if you have your old one, you can cut your outline your template and then go in and cut it. So I'm not completely outlining the template because I don't need it to go quite as high as the old one was. That's our dog.
No, that'd be the cat playing under the door, playing with one of the dogs.
The dog, yeah, the dog and cat playing. The dog wants to come in here, and the cat is basically just tormenting her right now. The other cat is, let me show a picture of her. She's
laying on my legs,
holding guard here, doing what cats do, which is nothing productive anyway. So then basically I just start kind of lining it up, seeing, you know, if I've got a good cut, going in and shaping it a little bit more. If he didn't have the loop ileostomy, he would have just I don't know if you call it a regular. I don't really know what the terminology is, but he would have his stoma it wouldn't be connected on the low end, so, or connected to his J pouch. So they could have actually made him a protruding stoma, which I guess if anybody's watching this and that's what you have, that's a good thing, because I feel like that would be easier and he would have less irritation of his skin. But because his stoma is retracted and his output sometimes falls down on his skin, I think that's what causes the irritation. But we're just having to work with what we have. We're blessed to be having it put back together. So ideally I would save this for the next time, and I am going to save it, but I would really like to throw it away, seeing as how today is supposed to be our last time.
You can throw it away on the way to the hospital.
Right, but just in case we have a reason to need it tomorrow, we will. So I take that off, and this is the part that's going to stick to his skin, but we actually need one other barrier. This is called a cohesive slim. I don't actually know what this is called, to be honest. Let's see if I have a box of them. I think it's just called a stoma barrier. I don't have a box of them anymore, but anyway, it's basically an extra layer of sticky. So it's like a little donut. It is thin, if you can see that, but it's, I mean, super sticky. So I want it to go around the hole that I've just prepared, and you can kind of mold it and bend it and press it down. I like to go a little bit around the edge, kind of pressing it down. He has what's called a convex wafer, which means it is a little lifted on the back side, and that helps when it's pushed down. It helps to make the stoma stick up. We tried the flat wafers in the beginning, and while those stick really well and kind of the tape around them seems a little less obtrusive in his life, we just weren't getting a good fit with that. So our stoma nurse suggested that we go to this kind of a phalange. I don't know if they call these phalanges or wafers or whatever. So I kind of just smush it all down in place, get that ready. Now we have next steps, something that I get ready. So this is called a no sting skin barrier. And I usually just open this and get it ready because my next steps have to be pretty quick. If there's output, there's not output today, so I won't rush through it like I usually do. But I just kind of set that there and get it ready. All right, so we can't leave all of this oil on the skin or we're not going to get good stick. So I don't like wipe it away, like completely clean it off, but I do blot it away, especially from the outside. I don't mind leaving a little bit on right there, but I don't want to cause any reason for it not to stick. So we're all clean there. Now we use stoma powder. Really wish I could tell you what this is for. I'm not 100% sure, except for maybe to help seal the skin, keep it dry, and keep it from being irritated. I use it because they tell me to use it. So put that all on there, all over the irritation. Looks real beautiful now. And then I don't leave all of that on though, because I'm afraid too much powder will also make the sticky not stick. So at this point I kind of gently wiping over it to remove any excess. Stoma is turning white right now, but it will come back to pink. And then I have to use this skin barrier protectant, and I go all around where it's going to stick, and then specifically over this stoma powder. And this basically is supposed to create a seal for, I think this one, which does happen to be my favorite, by the way, Cavalon. I'll pull out the other one I have in just a minute. I think it's pastier when you mix it, and it doesn't get as dry. So we found using the other one that we weren't getting as good of sticking. So then
And one thing she failed to mention was the trash bag. Get you some trash bags. Have a bag sitting right there. So as you pull the bag off, pull the flange off, using the gauze to wipe and all that different supplies, you got something right there, quick and easy, just to throw everything away. You don't want to just set it down and come back and clean it up later. Just toss it right as you go.
All right, so I'm just using this to basically fan it and dry it. I like to touch the skin to make sure that it's good and dry. And then I always say, are you ready? Because because he still has irritation. But actually, setting it on there isn't painful or uncomfortable for him. But I do have to get to a place, and I stretch the skin all the way around. But I do have to get to a place where I can right around his stoma where the irritation is, where I really press it into place. So first I try to press on the outside to make sure that it's well stuck, and then I go around.
And this is what is less than comfortable.
There have been times where he's like wanted to bite a nail, I think, just to deal with the pain, but this is the place where it needs to be stuck the best, just to help prevent the skin irritation. Well, doesn't necessarily need to be stuck the best. Around the edges is where it needs to be stuck the best so it doesn't leak. But this also, I don't know how well y'all can see based on the lighting in here, but as I'm pressing, this really does help lift the stoma. But as soon as I take my hand away, it goes back down in there a little bit. If it would stick up like this all of the time, actually a little more than this, but that would be ideal. But beggars can't be choosers. We're just working what we got. So ultimately, that part is done. He is really well stuck all around here. This area right here, because it goes down into the belly button, if he's gonna get any lifting of it at all, it's gonna be this area. So I'm not gonna use it today just because we don't need it. But this particular company makes these little, I guess just glue strips. I don't really know. Just another form of barrier. But I would unpeel this and stick it on just to add another protection. But I would probably cut a little bit of this out to keep it from lifting. When we were on vacation and we're doing pool and stuff like that, he was in the water. He wore these the whole time. He does have sensitive skin, so it does cause skin irritation, although it's looking pretty good right now. But these come in real handy if you're getting lift around the edges and you're just kind of frustrated with that. We also did find in the beginning that we were trying to go as long as we could between changes, because they say you can go, what was it in the beginning? 4 days?
Up to 5 days.
5 days before you need to change it. But with the irritation of his skin, we actually found when we were changing it basically every other day and doing the lavender oil that it was healing much, much better. So I would recommend for anybody in the beginning, although it seems like a pain and it is irritated, to change more often as opposed to less often.
So at this point, the only thing left is that I have a belt that clips in and goes around, and it kind of keeps it tight and pulls it back as well.
Kind of have the bag. That's kind of important.
And then also to put the bag on. Yes, that's what I was getting to.
Oh.
But that's pretty much.
Let me show the one that I don't like. Never mind. Just kidding. Oh no, this one. This protective wipe, Sure Prep. Sure, it's a great company. I don't care for it. Just makes it gooey. I like this one, 3M Cavalon. I think you might get a much better, much drier seal.
All right, so that's it. That's the entire process. That's what the stoma looks like.
Hold it up.
And hold what up?
Hold that up while we get your belt back on.
Because
And
we don't.
I gotta put the bag on. What? He's whispering at me.
Just put the bag on.
Oh, you just want to put the bag on?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do
I
the
was
bag.
trying to wrap it up. There's no reason to necessarily show the bag.
Hold
Now we have to edit all of this
all of
because
this
we
part.
had an argument on the video.
It's just everyday life, people. We argue, hey. Okay, so this is a little locking mechanism. So we unlock that. Press it down at the bottom. Press, press, press until you feel the click, which I don't right now. But yes, we got it. And then click it into place. Typically he would put his belt on before that just so he doesn't have to work all the way around this, but so there he goes. Prepped, ready? Last bag change. Woo! So excited.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them here. But good luck with everything.